All right, guys. We are here. It is Monday. Nvidia up a little bit. Apple's down. Let me see what else we got. What's the SPY doing? SPY is very flat. It is inflation data week this week, so we do have inflation data coming out. Good day Friday, though. Friday market's pushed. Roku. Yeah, Bitcoin up to lifetime highs again. Roku is down the last few days. Down really over the last, 3 months. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff this week. We got CPI inflation data. We've got Fed minutes. We've got bank earnings. Oh man, let me wake up. Oh, all right. What's up, Beach Bum, Winston, Solo, Bob, K, Blaze? Oh, all right, we're here. Nvidia is pushing up a little bit this morning, though. It's at 883s. It's been kind of going back and forth the last couple weeks. Where, if we put up like a 20-day chart, it's been downtrending really since the end of March. Mostly flat, though, over the last 10, 20 days. Yeah, Nvidia's back up to 883, so. Oh man, I'm yawning this morning. Yeah, we'll see if 880s, 890s, 900 rejects Nvidia, or if it pushes back up. We'll see. We can look at Tesla again. You can see the Q on the left side is very flat. Here's Tesla. Tesla's really been downtrending since last year in July. Almost a year of downtrending, but it's gapping up a little bit today. That's nice. Yeah, we're green on the day because of Tesla, mostly. We'll see if that continues. Yeah, so yesterday we went to Collecticon. It was fun. Yeah, we went to the aquarium, too. But yeah, Root. I know Root ran last week. Insurance company. I don't know much about it, though. But it's up a lot. It's at 8210s. Model 2 cancellation. Yeah, so the Tesla news. Right, so Tesla's preparing one of the biggest tests of its driver assistant autopilot, defending the company's position that drivers, not the automaker, are ultimately responsible for the crashes that involve the tech. There's a wrongful death suit for the trial in a trial this week. A jury is going to determine who's at fault for the 2018 crash involving 38-year-old Apple engineer Walter Huang. The driver passed away on Highway 101 in Cali after his Model X sport utility vehicle crashed into a highway barrier while he was using Tesla's driver assistance tech. Huang's family is going after Tesla in a distinctive fashion by questioning whether they oversold the autopilot capabilities and didn't take sufficient action to prevent customers from misusing it. Tesla says Huang is responsible because he was playing a video game while the vehicle was engaged in autopilot. Government investigators and Huang agree that he was distracted in the moments leading up to the crash, but the family say Tesla is at fault because of its marketing of autopilot. Yeah, I mean, listen. Rest in peace to this man. I genuinely feel bad for him and his family. But, you know, play stupid games. I mean, if he was really genuinely playing video games, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Tesla up to 170 40s. We'll see if it holds. All right, so Tesla shares are up after Elon said that robo-taxis are going to be unveiled in August. So, man, I yawn a lot, man. I'm trying to drink coffee. Tesla shares climbed in pre-market today after CEO Musk said the EV maker would unveil its robo-taxi on August 8th, is what's causing Tesla to push up. You know, we do have earnings for Tesla this month. So that's one of the reasons Tesla gapping up nicely too. Let me check earnings. See what we got. Let's see if they scheduled any earnings. I'm ready for them too, but let's see if they did. So most of the big earnings are to come on the week of the 22nd. Verizon, GM, GE, UPS, Pepsi, Tesla, April 23rd. Boeing, AT&T, Meta is going to be April 24th. Okay. Intel, Snapchat going to be April 25th. Okay. All right. And we got SoFi earnings the week after, April 29th. Still going through. Trying to see when McDonald's, or not McDonald's, when Apple and Amazon are going to schedule their earnings, man. Okay, so Apple has confirmed their earnings are going to be scheduled for May 2nd, on Thursday, May 2nd. Let's see about Amazon. Thursday, May 2nd. Come on, bro. Don't make them to freaking May 2nd, dude. Amazon hasn't actually confirmed theirs, though. So I'm hoping they do it at a different freaking time. Because, I mean, we're going to cover Apple earnings anyway, but, like, still. Yeah, well, I mean, insurance rates are high, or interest rates are high right now still. Like, current auto loan rates. Yeah, like Bank of America has them anywhere between 6.5% to 7.5% right now. I mean, people just, I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really out here financing cars, but. So I don't really know. But it says looks like the average auto loan interest rate in the third quarter of 23 was 7.18% for new vehicles and a 12% for used vehicles. So I just think people are just not really buying cars. The interest rates are really high. You know, so anywhere, like, let me see the average auto interest rate over the last 20 years. Let's see if we can find a graph. Yeah, so in 2015, they were 4%. 2015, they were 4%. So, yeah, they're high right now, especially used dealers. If Tesla misses earnings, is it going to drop the price, or is it already priced in for the most part? I'm not sure there. That's up in the air, really. I really don't know that one. I know this Friday we have bank earnings. So this Friday we got JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BLK, Citigroup, Progressive, and State Street earnings all dropping on Friday. So that's a big day. We'll see what happens there. Bob, I'm hoping for an Nvidia drop myself. Yeah, we'll see. Nvidia's up a lot though, man. I don't know what Nvidia's gonna do. I really don't. That's one of those stocks that I'm genuinely oblivious to what they're gonna do. I don't know. Nobody does. I think. I think a lot of people want them to hold, and a lot of people want them to come back down too. And so I think you see a lot of varying sentiments for Nvidia, just because people want them to do different things. Yeah, Tesla earnings. So Tesla is expecting for earnings today, chat. Or not today, 23rd. Tuesday the 23rd is when Tesla earnings come out. They're already scheduled. Tuesday the 23rd at 4:05 p.m. They are expecting for those earnings 41-cent profit per share on 25.72 billion. Now, I will say, off the get-go, this is a pretty big drop. And if they come in just as what's expected for Tesla, it's a pretty big dip. So yeah, if they come in at what's expected here, it's a pretty big dip. So yeah, like if I look at Tesla's last EPS, right? The problem. Oh wait, this is Boeing. I don't want Boeing. I want Tesla. All right, so here's Tesla. All right, so we can look at their forward EPS as well. So they are expecting this next one to come out at 56 cents. That is the smallest quarterly EPS that they have had since 2021. So that is the lowest quarterly EPS they've had since 2021, since October of 2021. If they come in as expected, at its expected number, so they're expecting it to decrease even more. But they're expected to go up a little bit more this year. You know, I think the Cybertruck is costing them money. I saw some, dude, the Cybertrucks are nice though, man. Like, if you see one in person, they're genuinely impressive looking, man. My wife changed her tune. My wife was always a Cybertruck hater. Like, no, I don't want a Cybertruck. Those are ugly. You know, and we saw a couple in person, and every time my wife sees one, she's like, look, a Cybertruck. You know, we saw one Saturday night, and she was impressed by it. She was interested. She thought it was cool. You know, the other thing to understand, like, some people might consider, like, the other thing you might want to understand about Tesla is that even though Tesla has a relatively low EPS versus what you might consider some other companies to have, they've got over 3 billion outstanding shares, right? So Tesla has 3,176,000,000 outstanding shares. So when you multiply that times the it's expected at 41 cents. You know, They're still making $1 billion a quarter or more, you know. So they look cool, bro. I saw a white one. They look cool. Huge data company, yeah. All right, we're gonna be day trading today as well, chat. We are gonna be day trading today also. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Snow? Hey, thanks, bro. Hope you're doing good, Snow. Thanks, man. You should have gotten a Cybertruck and made content on it. I mean, look. One thing that I've learned in this content game is that not everything's going to get clicks like you think it is. Right, and so while I could write it off as a business expense, and that's true, I could write it off. Although I do think they close those loopholes. I've never really been one to get a bunch of company cars. Like I haven't really bought any company cars for any of my companies, and I don't really, you know. But I digress. Back to the point. The risk of buying and spending, you know, $100,000+ on a truck, and then the content not being as exciting as I wanted it to be is too high for me to splurge the money. I think if I had a tech company, if I had a tech review company, that's who really, you know, you see like a bunch of tech review companies getting Cybertrucks, and I understand that for sure. That's a justifiable expense. They probably got a little bit early on the list, but yeah, it would just be a risk, I guess is the point. Now I want one anyway, you know, but my family recently got another car, and like we just don't need another one right now. So is this a concern to anyone if the Cybertruck windows are unbreakable? What happens if you're trapped? I don't know. I'm sure they have pitfalls, safety things for it, but maybe not. I don't know. Coffee. All right, guys. It's inflation data week this week. It should be a fun week. Again, inflation data starts on Wednesday. So Wednesday. Yeah, so they're supposed to be doing some tests for FSD for robo-taxis. Robo-taxis are supposed to be unveiled in August, so that'll be an interesting look too. Yeah, earnings season. One of the biggest growing parts of my channel, man. Honestly, I'm really proud of my channel, though, bro. My channel has gotten to a point where every stream we do is decently big, right? Like, it used to be we'd get a lot of views for the big streams and then not so many views for, like, the smaller streams. At this point in time, we're getting, you know, the small streams we're getting, like, 500 to 700. And the large streams we're getting, like, 5,000 to 7,000, you know, concurrent viewers, right? Which is really fun. And so it's been interesting to grow the channel, and I think I'm just doing something a little bit different than everybody else, and I think that's a good thing, you know. Like, if you look at last week's numbers on the channel here, you know, if you look at last week's payroll numbers Friday, we got 14,000 views. Jobless claims, we got about 7,000. Powell, we got about 30,000. Manufacturing, we got 7. Jolts, we got about 9. You know, we had Powell speech this week when I was out of town. So yeah, fun, busy week. We had a number of big streams. We didn't get any viewership under 7,000 really. We got 6.8K at our lowest. So you love to see it. Thanks so much for the growth, chat. Hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. We got earnings season starting up. Earnings season is a different animal for this channel too, because we cover all the big earnings reports. And this week earnings season starts again Friday. It is when all the bank earnings start dropping, and that causes some volatility in markets. Again, JP Morgan on Friday morning, Wells Fargo Friday morning, BLK Friday morning. It's a really interesting time for banks, specifically because the Bitcoin ETFs have come out, right? So the Bitcoin ETFs have dropped. And so we're going to see the bottom line of some of these bank, you know, these bank stocks that did drop Bitcoin ETFs, including BLK, including, I don't know if JP Morgan did or not. I'll have to look. But, yeah, we got some big numbers coming for bank earnings, I think. No? Let's Google this question that y'all are having regarding Teslas. All right, I'm reading it. Oh, here's the easy question, guys. The Cybertruck floats. It doesn't need any air for operation. It should be able to use the propulsion to get out of most flooded areas. Number 2 is that I'm pretty sure that you can use the window opener tools, even though it's bulletproof. Something in the window tools still allows you to open it. You know, another thing is, considering a steel ball broke the window during the unveiling, a good emergency escape tool with a hardened steel point would probably work as well. But the other thing is that the Cybertruck floats, if you guys don't remember this. So, like, the Cybertruck floats is what I'm looking this up right now. And so, yeah, I do remember that. So the Cybertruck does float. I forgot about that. So, yeah. Now, the fire story is different. I don't know. But what most people are saying is that Tesla has designed it to be very resilient towards that type of stuff, and so the electronics are going to work for long periods of time. So essentially, you're most likely going to be able to roll the window down anyway, is what I'm reading. But again, I can't confirm that for sure, but that's what it seems to me, is that you'll probably be able to roll down the window and escape regardless, because they've designed it to, they're not just going to cut out in water, or they're not just going to cut out in the event of a fire, you know. So I forgot about that. The Cybertruck floats on water, is bulletproof, like a bunch of cool stuff. I forget about that. Does crypto pumping affect the stock market? I mean, yeah, like Beach Bum says, it depends on your definition. It affects Bitcoin-related stocks, certainly, and so in that regard, it would technically affect the stock market. Does it affect broad markets? No, not really, but maybe sometimes. It just depends. You know, could affect banks. Well, the big streams are certainly less chill, Sam. They're chaotic, but that's just because we got so many people. It's hard to manage, you know. With so many more people here, you know, you're gonna have more trolls. All right, guys. So again, Nvidia up to 880s seems to be a pretty big support level around 880 whole dollar level. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, IBIT big streams can get crazy. Yeah. Yeah, no, all good, Sam. I mean, an accurate observation. It's all good, bro. What are your views on Bitcoin? I'm a Bitcoin bull. I like Bitcoin long term. I think Bitcoin will probably break 100K pretty, you know, eventually. I'm not gonna say when. I don't know, but I think eventually it probably will. You know. But yeah, I went to Collecticon yesterday, bro. Collecticon, dude. You know, listen, I'm a big Pokemon guy. Like, I grew up with Pokemon. You know, that was like my generation, was Pokemon. Like, I used to sit out at the bus stops selling Pokemon cards, right? But I can't even lie. I left Collecticon with a sour taste in my mouth. All right, I bought one of those fossil packs, like those $250 old 1999 booster packs, hoping to land a Charizard or something like that. I spent $250 on it. I let my son do it. So I bought him a $250 Pokemon card pack with like 10 Pokemon cards in it or whatever it is. I didn't get freaking anything. I got a non-holographic Hypno. I'm still mad about it to this day. You know, I looked it up afterwards. So a lot of these vendors research, like, they weigh the packs, right? The heavier packs are usually holographic. The less heavy packs are not, and they sell the less heavy packs is what I'm pretty sure they freaking do. But I kind of left pretty PO'd. I spent $250. I didn't even get a holographic old card. I guess it comes with the territory. But they also had the dude, was it Jason Page, singing the Pokemon song? It got really cringy in there real quick. I love Pokemon, but they got the Pokemon dude that sings the Pokemon song trying to charge people like hundreds of dollars for an autograph. I'm like, bro, I didn't even know who you were, dude. Like, you might sing, like, you're gonna, like, I'm not getting you to sign my Pokemon cards. You're gonna devalue them if you sign them, bro. Like, you're not even related to the cards. Like, you just sing the song for the show. 20 years ago, you did. No, it really is like another stock market. That's why I kind of am interested in it. It was fun. I bought some cards. My son had a good time. We also went to the aquarium in Houston. It was fun. But yeah, I can't lie. I left with like a sour, I spent $250 on a pack of Pokemon cards and didn't really get anything good from it. Still kind of mad about it, but it's all right. Anyways, the SPY is up a little bit. SPY is now technically green. Here's the Q running up. It's at 441s. If we look at the SPY on the left, yeah, I mean, listen, I was talking to some guy about it there, bro. Like, I was a big Pokemon kid. I hung out at when Pokemon first started to get big, I had every valuable card you could think of in a binder, right? Every valuable card. I had multiple Charizards. I had the Japanese Charizards from the 90s. I had Blastoise. I had all these crazy valuable cards back then in a binder. I used to, I would occasionally have parties at my dad's house when I was a teenager, when I was like 18 or 19. So like we'd have parties and we'd have people over, and sometimes people would steal stuff, which is what, like, it comes with the territory of when you have parties when you're young. And so I would have parties at my dad's house and people would steal stuff. I'm pretty sure somebody stole my binder one of those days and I never got it again, unfortunately. They stole a bunch of stuff. They stole like an Omega watch from my dad. My dad had an Omega because my dad's kind of a watch guy too, which is kind of why I started doing watches. Anyways, people steal stuff during parties. I'm pretty sure somebody got those Pokemon cards. But if I had those cards now, they'd be worth super money, 250 Bitcoin sold at 880, so it could be worse. Yeah, but that was before it was really worth anything, and I get it. I don't think that's as bad. I think, I think 10 years ago, Bitcoin was worth nothing, and so people were just trying to use it just to say they used it. A really interesting dynamic is poker. I used to play poker. Right? And to play poker in the early days of Bitcoin, you could pay with Bitcoin, right? So I had a couple Bitcoin in poker that was just sitting there. That was like $30 or whatever it was when it first came out. And I didn't keep it. I'm still kind of PO'd. I didn't keep it. Yeah. And my dad still never lets, like, my dad, that was like the nicest watch my dad had was an Omega. He never had any like rollies or anything. So like the nicest watch he ever had. My dad was like very frugal, he didn't, he doesn't like spending money. And he's not like, it's not like I grew up in like a super wealthy household. And so that Omega watch getting stolen from my dad, he is still mad about that to this day, right? He is still upset about it. Every time I see him, he's like, yeah, John got a Omega stolen from my house. I'm just like, I know, dude. I know, man. I'm going to have to buy him a new one eventually, just so he can't complain anymore about it. I don't know. Don't move. I don't know. Bank earnings should be fun. I'm not sure what's going to happen with them or what's, the consequence of them. No idea. Boeing CEO David Calhoun receives $33 million compensation for 2023. All right, guys. Nvidia still pumping up at 885 here. Look at the SPY back up. Nvidia's dragging it up. Nvidia's what's causing this to move. So Nvidia up to 884s. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a funny story that I tell my kids sometimes. When I was in preschool, right? When I was in preschool, my dad used to have like stuff sitting in his drawer, right? So my dad, and I'm like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid. And so I'm digging around my dad's room looking for stuff, right? And I find my dad's wallet. And in the wallet, I found a $100 bill, right? And so me at like 5 or 6 years old, I'm like, hey, I'm rich. Like, I got $100. I'm going to go hide this under my pillow. Nobody will ever find it. And I'm going to buy the greatest toys of all time. You know, I don't know. I think that was my plan. Anyways, I go to preschool. My dad picks me up from preschool early, checks me out about 30 minutes early. This was a Friday, and so I was supposed to stay the night at my friend Michael's house, right? I was supposed to go stay the night, play video games or whatever it was with my friend Michael. And my dad asks me when he picks me up, he's like, hey, you know, have you seen this $100 bill that I had? And so I just kind of spurt out the truth. I'm like, yeah, I took it, Dad. I'm sorry. I stole it, you know. This was back when you got spanked. I got spanked as a kid. And then also, he made me call my friend and tell him what happened. He made me call my other 6-year-old friend and tell him the truth, which was that I tried to steal money from him and got in trouble for it and couldn't come do the sleepover. And then my friend was crying as well. Like, we were both crying, like upset. You know, we were 6 or 7. Never tried that again, though. You know, never tried it again. I still remember it. I wonder if the Omega was in there at that time. Anyways. Hey, thanks, Chartist. No. Tradeovate's a web-based platform. So you can use Rhythmic as well in Quant Tower. Like, this is Quant Tower. I have Quant Tower for free. So you can use Quant Tower. You can use Rhythmic. They're both free. You don't have to pay for them. Again, Tradeovate is a web-based platform. So you're going to go to the platform through a web, like through a website, through their website. Quant Tower is a software that you download. I never admitted that fast, but bro, when you're 6 or 7 years old, dude, you know, like, honestly, I remember it weighing on me as a kid. Like, I remember I did it, and I remember just feeling terrible about it. And so I think when he asked me about it, I'm just like, yeah, I'll just kind of spit it out. I don't think it's that uncommon. My wife's told me a story about when she was young and she was doing something she wasn't supposed to, and her mom asked her about it, and she just kind of admitted it right away. I think that's pretty common for kids. You know, that's before you really learn deception as a kid, you know. Yeah, I took that $100 bill and I thought I was just about to be rich, you know. Like, I was going to buy the greatest toys of all time, you know, move away, live my life, you know. I think at the time, what I really thought was that my dad wouldn't notice. He noticed immediately. This was back in the 90s too, so $100, you know, $100 was a lot of money in the 90s. It's diluted now with inflation, but it was a lot more in the 90s. But yeah, here's Quant Tower. So here's a software. This is a Rhythmic. This is the Rhythmic option. So if you use Rhythmic, this is Quant Tower here. I've already got the 100K on Tradeovate. Do I have to continue? To continue what? Yeah, that's what it was, Sam. It wasn't like I wasn't getting beaten or anything, you know. Well, you have to pay an activation fee once you're funded. I stole candy from the drugstore when I was 6. Yeah, I remember one time I was at the grocery store with my parents, and they had a bucket of candy, and I assumed, unreasonably, I guess, that they were giving away free candy at the grocery store in the bucket. There was nobody there. There was a bunch of candy there, and it was an open bucket full of candy. And so me as a child, I'm like, hey, free candy. They're giving away free candy. Let me grab a piece. And so I grabbed a lollipop or whatever it is, and I started walking out the store. My dad noticed I had the lollipop and made me go back and apologize to the store and admit that I stole it and apologize. Which I did, you know. I blame still the store, to be honest. You know, you're leaving an unattended bucket of candy, you know, in front of kids, expecting them not to take some. How dare you? You know. No, I'm joking, but yeah, there's a funny stories I remember as a kid. What's up? I need better charts. I like the Quant Tower charts. The Quant Tower charts are nice. And people always ask why you trade futures. It's because look at Nvidia here and then look at the NASDAQ. It's very similar price action. You know, Nvidia is what's influencing the NASDAQ here. Tesla breaking down a little bit, down to 168. So let me see if we have any other news. Pegatron is in talks with Tata to sell its only India iPhone plant, according to Reuters. U.S.-based International Paper is nearing agreement on GBP $5 billion all-stock takeover of DS Smith. Spirit Airlines announces a deferral of all aircrafts on order with Airbus that were scheduled to be delivered. I wonder what that means. Is that bad? What's the Airbus? Is Airbus public? Yeah, Airbus is public. Wells Fargo raises 2024 year-end S&P forecast to 5,535. Where's the S&P right now? Yeah, so it's expected to jump up. AMD at 170. Again, we're still looking at Tesla. Tesla dipping down some here. I'm looking for news. I don't see any recent news outside of... Tesla did have some news today. Again, I think there's some good things and bad things going on right now. Number one is that Tesla is getting ready to go to trial for the fatality that occurred when 38-year-old Apple engineer passed away on Highway 101 in California after his Model X Sport utility crashed into the barrier on the highway. Tesla's going to trial about that. Tesla's argument is that it wasn't their fault, that he was playing video games while he was driving, or while he was using the software. His family's argument is that Tesla should have done more in marketing and to explain the risks of this, right? So Tesla's going to trial. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but you know, that's interesting to watch. That could be bad news for Tesla if it loses that. Look at Tesla start to turn here. Tesla coming down to 168 right now. So Tesla turning back all the way down. Something's dropping on Tesla right now for sure. And the other thing, chat, is that Tesla is getting ready to unveil. You can see the bottom of the screen here. So Tesla shares climbed in pre-market after CEO Elon said the EV maker could or would unveil its robotaxi on August 8th. So that's big news for Tesla. Again, FSD is the future of Tesla, in my opinion. You know, a lot of people are bearish on Tesla. They cite the numbers. They argue the numbers are not looking good or whatever it is. But what I've been saying is that FSD is going to be that game-changing thing in technology, and Tesla's on the forefront of that. And so I think this is the next stage in that, the robotaxi news on August 8th. I think if it looks good and they unveil it successfully, then it's going to be a game changer for Tesla. But again, time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. Tesla's starting to give back some of its gains. Again, dropping down under 168 and still falling here. It's now had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles in a row. Moving down here for Tesla, 7 red candles in a row. Is it a downgrade? Tesla downgraded. Yeah, I'm looking up news. I don't really see anything else regarding Tesla. Meta drops earnings later this month as well. So Meta's up a lot too. So here's Meta. Tesla's still falling. We'll continue to watch it. Here's Meta. Meta's obviously had a really good chart. They debuted their AI software over the last year, and they also have just been riding it up with AI sympathy, up to 520s. Big, crazy good year. You know, this is just a 4-hour chart. Here's a yearly chart. So Meta had one of the biggest comebacks again. And to be fair, I thought Meta was a sell when it was at like $90. I thought there was too big of risks here. I thought Meta looked weak. I thought they were in trouble, and then AI started picking up, and they just went up hundreds of percent over the last year. So they're up to 526s right now. A lot of tech is just up big numbers here. The question is, do you think tech holds these gains? Like, do you genuinely think Tesla, or not Tesla? Do you think tech holds these gains? The question is, do you think tech? I think that let's do an inflation poll though. We're gonna do a poll on inflation. Does this week's CPI inflation data, or let's just say this week's inflation data, come in higher or lower than expected? We're gonna have three options: high or lower as expected. All right. There's the poll. Vote on the poll if you want to participate. Everyone counted out Zuck. I did too. I thought, you know, I thought it was risky. My argument for against it was this. I thought it was risky just because I thought that Facebook specifically was on its way out. I think my generation used it, but the new generations don't. Instagram was starting to fade with TikTok, and I thought that Zuckerberg had lost $10 billion in 2021 in the metaverse. $10 billion. And so he had lost a lot of money. The metaverse was a bust. Crypto was down. Facebook was losing usage, and I thought that was bad news for Meta. You know, again, it was impossible to see that AI was about to go crazy, and but yeah. I guess the question is, do we hold? I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, guys. While I'm gone, do AI stocks and tech hold their gains this year? Is the question. Do AI stocks and tech hold their gains this year? Answer it. We'll argue about it when I get back. Again, restroom break. Do AI stocks and tech hold their gains this year? Let me know what you guys think. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Let's see what you guys have to say about AI stocks and whether they hold their gains for once. Again, Meta, I like Meta, but I think there's arguments for and against it. No, my daughter showed up. I had to go to the bathroom. My daughter walked up as well, and so wanted to talk to me. All right, let's check the chat. I think the problem Tesla has, they call it full self-driving, very deceptive description. Well, I think it depends. I think it depends on what they look like for their robo-taxis in August. Being a lost and going to close under 180? I don't know. I think Boeing is one that I'm not touching right now for understandable reasons. 2022, everyone counted out Zuck. Yeah, I did as well. Impending doom like a bubble about to burst? Maybe. I'm a millennial. Facebook was what I used. Yeah, I mean, my generation used Facebook, but new generations don't that much. But they use Instagram a little bit more. Autopilot is an advanced driving assistance system that enhances safety and convenience. When used properly, it reduces your overall workload as a driver. That's from Tesla's website. Hey, chat. Nvidia will. Many ordinary companies will become more efficient and productive. There will be fringe fake AI plays that will get exposed eventually. Microsoft, Nvidia, go with the big boys. Oh, it is the eclipse morning. I forgot about that. Yeah. Messenger and Snapchat are still popular and owned by Meta. Yes. Well, Snapchat's big. Wait, does Meta own Snapchat? I thought they tried to buy it and didn't. Maybe that was Microsoft. Yeah, so Meta doesn't own Snapchat. So Snap is owned by the parent company Snap Inc. So yeah, Snapchat is not owned by Meta. I think Meta tried to buy Snapchat, but it didn't work. They didn't accept it. Messenger is owned by Meta, but Messenger is a Facebook messenger, right? So of course it's owned by Facebook. Yeah, I'm trying to see where the total eclipse line is. I've heard crazy stuff about this eclipse too. So the total eclipse line, it goes through Dallas. Huh. So this is going to be this afternoon. So yeah, here's the eclipse line, they say. So it's going to cut through Dallas, Carbondale, Cleveland, Burlington, Caribou, Buffalo, Little Rock. Yeah, I'm down here, so I'm missing it. Yeah, I'm in Snapchat. I've been in Snapchat. I'm green on it as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm green on it. Nice. Palantir buying Meta? No. Dude, Palantir doesn't have enough money to buy Meta, bro. What? No way, bro. That would be like saying, Rivian's gonna buy Google, you know, or Rivian's gonna buy Tesla, right? Like, it's a silly thing. Like, there's no way Palantir's buying Meta. It doesn't have enough money. Meta's worth billions and billions of dollars. Yeah, Meta's not owned by Snapchat. Or no, Snapchat's not owned by Meta, I mean. I don't buy used cars, Maximus, so I don't know, bro. Not really. I mean, I'm not saying I've never bought a used car, but I don't. Yeah, I don't really use one stock or one site in particular. Oh, you're buying Meta at 9:30. Sorry, Matthew. I was about to say, dude. Sorry, yeah, I did read your comment wrong. Okay, gotcha. Commas are useful though, Matthew. my guy. That's one of the arguments for a comma, sir. You know. But no, it's all good. I'm just messing with you. I was gonna say though, I didn't read it. Who said the comment? But yeah, I'm in Palantir right now. Palantir's back up though. It started to dip. It started to rebound. Now though, so that's good. Yeah. So when the eclipse hits, is it gonna be like really cloudy? I'm assuming, right? Yeah, Bitcoin flying up today. So Bitcoin is around lifetime highs. Bitcoin at 73,000. It looks like it just hit a lifetime high. Let me see. No, so the lifetime highs are right around 74s. And Bitcoin currently at 72.5K, so. Yeah, so here's Bitcoin. It's trying to get up there. Yeah, I'm in Palantir. I've been in it too. What's up, Kimberly? Good morning. If that whale was smart, they will slowly. Baba? I'm in Baba still. I've been pretty flat at it. Baba's been really sideways all year, essentially, since 2024 started. It's been mostly flat and neutral. I'm in it right now, but I'm slightly green, but I'm mostly flat. Or actually, I'm slightly red, but mostly flat. Let's see if we have any other new news coming out. Yeah, so the UK BBA mortgage rate came in at 7.92%, 7.92. Nvidia dipping down still. No data today, no. Oh, what's up, KD? Alright. All right, we're hanging out, guys. Tesla was, so we're going to put Tesla back up. Tesla was giving back a lot of its gains. Started to bounce back a little bit. It's at 168. I'm not sure why it dipped. I think somebody said a downgrade on Twitter is what happened. I haven't even pulled up Twitter. That's a good idea. Let me look. My videos. Every time I try to watch a video, it's lagging a little bit. Bob will put up huge earnings and profits, but the stock won't necessarily go up automatically. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I find anything that dips, inflation data comes out. Amazon is up today. Amazon at 186.80s right now, 186.80s. So. All right, so Tesla bouncing back up to 169s. Nvidia at 883s roughly. And again, if it wasn't, if we didn't have inflation data coming out this week, I might look for some stuff to buy. I don't know how down we are though. I think if we look at the market itself, the SPY this year, you know, the year started right here. So this is basically the price action this year. Had a good green year so far, but we have been mostly sideways. This is a daily chart, and so we've been mostly flat since March, mid-March. Now, that could be a good or bad thing. We're mostly just getting consolidation. I don't know what's going to happen now, but I think I'm waiting to see if we start to pull back some. If we start to dip, I'll probably buy up some stuff. But at the same time, chat, always remember, I am terrible, have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I do have sponsors, and I'm biased in their favor because they pay me money. Yeah. I put this big old screen up here so you can see this at all times. And yeah, remember. All right, but Nvidia bouncing at that VWAP level, so we are watching the VWAP. SPY is almost completely sideways. So SPY is almost exactly green, or almost exactly neutral. Not red, not green, really. We're right at that previous closing price. Tesla back up to 169s, though. We'll see if that holds. Amazon's going to crush earnings. Yeah, that's a weird pawn. It might be Discord though, brother. Unless it's YouTube. Discord is sometimes really slow. So yeah, Discord can be really slow, but if it's actual YouTube, I'm not sure. Links are in the description, Arizona's, if you're interested. Top 3 does not mean liable. Always remember, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. Do not copy me. If you do copy me, it's not my fault, guys. All right, whatever happens to you in that circumstance is not my fault. Oh yeah, that is weird for YouTube. Yeah, we do have this news for Tesla again coming out that we are going to get ready to try to day trade a little bit here. I guess we'll put up some stuff, but we're trying to cover just broad market news right now. And I don't really see any other big news coming out today. Again, it's inflation data week. We also have the Fed minutes report this week. We've got bank earnings on Friday. So after today and tomorrow are pretty slow days market-wise. We just don't have much going on. But after tomorrow, we've got CPI Wednesday, the Bank of Canada interest rate Wednesday, the Fed minutes report Wednesday, and then Thursday we've got PPI, the other side of that, jobless claims numbers. We got the ECB rate decision and their press conference that comes from that. We've got big bank earnings on Friday, and so a lot of stuff coming out. You know, a lot of interesting stuff here. Trying to see what we got next week going on. Next week we got retail sales Monday, housing starts, building permits, jobless claims. So next week is very slow outside of some earnings reports. Yeah, next week's very slow. Aside from retail sales, we got retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing data on Monday. All right, Tesla back up over 169s. I'm trying to see what other earnings. I don't think we have any major earnings that drop. Outside of next week, or at next week. Let me see. So next week is the 15th, the week of the 15th. Actually, we do have a bunch of earnings, so earnings are going to be that week. Okay, so that's good. Goldman Sachs earnings Monday morning, the 15th. Let's see what else we got. Bank of America earnings, Johnson & Johnson, Morgan Stanley, Bank of New York, that next Tuesday. United Airlines, IB, Hancock Whitney. Wednesday, we got Abbott, U.S. Bank. Oh, dang, man. And then Wednesday evening, we've got Alcoa, Discovery, Nokia. Nokia is still a big company, I guess, but I don't know what they do. Ally. Okay, gotcha. Netflix earnings on Thursday, actually. We might cover those. I don't know. We'll look at it. Friday, Amex, Procter & Gamble. So yeah, next week's definitely a slower week, but it's all good. This week's very busy. Gold staying strong. I don't know. This week we got the Fed minutes report. We've got CPI inflation data, PPI inflation data. So it's pretty busy. Yeah, I had the brick, the Nokia brick. That was like my first phone was a Nokia brick. Yeah, like my first phone was the, yeah, it had Snake on it. Juice this week. Yeah, it's a busy week. Every week's been busy though, the last like month and a half. And then again, we got earnings coming out starting on Friday and then going into next week. So it only takes 5 seconds to go back, hit the like, and go back to the chat. Yeah, y'all slap that like button. I'm good, GIP. That seems like really gambly in nature. So I'm good, bro. You know what was a good phone? The BB? Honestly, I wasn't a big fan. I never liked it. It was too complex at the time. One of the things Apple does really well is they make it easy to use. And I thought that was too complex at the time. You know, I know you're joking, G, but I just, even that stock, like what's the stock symbol? It's just too risky for me, I think. You know, maybe I need to be less risk averse though. What's up, Al? Yeah, those phones were durable. Those phones were super durable. Market crash today, bro. Every day, dude. You don't know? Every day's a market crash in this world. Yeah. The question is, do people really think the market's going to crash every day? Like, are they really that gullible? Or are they just trolling? I mean, they might try to play it off like, oh, haha, I'm just trolling. I think some of them really think the market crashes every day. you only really start to understand the market's not going to crash every day once you've been watching it for an extended period of time. Like if you're a new day trader, or if you're a new trader in general, or if you're holding huge put options and you've never really traded before, you might think the market's going to crash every day, right? But once you start to watch it, you start to hear them as like enough people say the crash is about to happen and then it doesn't. You start to become more resilient after that, I think. But it takes time. SPY is down slightly on the day, down to 518s. Yeah, well, the iPhone really destroyed a bunch of, like, phone carriers, you know, because once the iPhone's out, you don't really need most of these other carriers. Most of these other big boy phones, like, big boy phone companies, I mean, they're not going to be able to compete with Apple. You know, it's something that BlackBerry knew, right? They weren't going to be able to compete with Apple. They weren't going to try to compete with Apple. They just kind of have to accept it once the iPhone came out. It destroyed a lot of businesses. Am I in SoFi? Yes. I'm down, but I'm in it. Question is, do people really participate in previous bear markets, not at corrections where it was pumped by central banks the next day? I mean, real market cycles, I doubt it. Define participate. I say we crash after the 11th. Well, I don't know, man. This eclipse has been getting some hype. People have been saying it's the end of the world, all this crazy stuff. I don't know. Tesla at 169's here. Nvidia's still up there. Still technically green over previous levels. Let's watch the VWAP and the 200 EMA. We're gonna get ready to day trade a little bit here as well too. Coming soon, but the market bears have called 45. Of the last two corrections. Yeah, there's what you learn is people overpredict crashes, right? I don't know if they're just, I don't know the people that are predicting crashes. Again, I think that it's a mix of like political bias, like actual short traders, like people who actually take in like decent sized short positions. You know, I think it's a mix. Or it could just be people who missed out on the bull run, and so they're hoping that we come back down to justify missing it. You know, I think there's a lot of different types of bearish traders. Oh yeah, no, I know. Michael Burry has called 22 of the last 3 market crashes. You know, yeah, I've heard that one a lot. Amazon short. Yeah, I know Amazon was up a lot today too. Amazon at 186.70. So Amazon bouncing right around the 200 EMA. Again, Meta is up a lot. Or Meta's up a lot the last few days, but down a little bit today, slightly red. Most of the tech market and market in general is slightly red today. It's not, we're not really polarized to one side. It's mostly just flat, neutral activity so far. We don't have any big economic reports today or tomorrow. The big ones start Wednesday. Catching Bitcoin with 100x leverage on the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I wish, bro. UCAR. Yeah, it's moving a little bit, but it's low float, highly volatile penny stock. UCAR, I just don't trust it at all. Especially if it's an overseas company where it's so hard to vet those companies, right? So it's hard to tell whether they're legit or whether they're just saying crazy stuff to, you know what I mean? Like, that's the difficult part of them, I think. Tilray earnings this week. Yeah, cannabis earnings. Again, I'm not really super confident in cannabis legalization. I don't think it's going to happen. I hope it does, but I just don't think it will, you know. Yeah, Root's up a lot. Insurance company, low float. I just don't trust it. It's one of those rare penny stocks that have gone crazy and held, but yeah, I really just genuinely don't trust it. I mean, it can be profitable. I think you just have to have a big. You have to have a big. You have to have a big, like a. All right, look at the SPY rip up. You have to have a big business around it. I don't think you can penny pinch it, I guess is the point. Again, I'm just not confident that legalization is going to happen, like effective legalization in places, like federal legalization. I think a lot of people have said that it was going to happen. You know, a lot of, like, you know, the right side has had power, right? They say, oh, it's, you know, one side of the political spectrum is keeping it illegal. But when the other side has full power, they don't legalize it either. So it's like, because of that, too much lobbyists are getting to both sides. I think lobbyists are paying people to keep it illegal. Law enforcement specifically. Today's April 8th. Florida is expected to legalize for recreation. Yeah, maybe. I think that's a big market too. And so if they follow through with it, hopefully it'll set the standard for it to get legalized around the country. But again, I can't say I'm optimistic. Well, there's a lot of legalized variants of it. Like, it's mostly legal. Like, the only variant that's illegal is the old school variant. But nowadays, there's a lot of new school variants that are completely legal that do the same thing. Again, I take the position of, like, it's safer for people to legalize and regulate it. It's much less safe for people to keep it illegal, to be honest. And people are going to consume it no matter what, right? So tax it, make money from it, you know. It's not like we couldn't use the tax money from it, you know what I mean? Nvidia Trying to hold it over 885s though. So we're watching this 883 VWAP level for Nvidia. Again, the SPY's technically green. Tesla's trying to come back up. Outside of this, we don't really have any big news stories today. Yeah, you're probably right, Kimberly. We'll see. I hope it happens though. You know, I think legalizing it's good for everybody. Yeah, but I'm not talking about states' right issue. I'm talking about when federal legalization is going to happen. You know, obviously it goes by states, but federal legalization will bring a lot of things like funding, specifically like banks, allowing banks to lend on it is the big thing. The big reason they want federal legalization is for that, you know, alone. I think a lot of people don't understand that, but. BLK earnings Friday. I think bank earnings will be fun on Friday. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think the interesting part with BLK is the Bitcoin ETF income. Obviously, Bitcoin is a big thing now. The Bitcoin ETF is a big thing for BLK, and so I'm curious to see what the bottom line is in terms of their income. You know, I'm genuinely curious to see if the Bitcoin ETFs is bringing in revenue for them like that. You know. We're talking both, I guess. What do you eat before you trade? I don't eat anything. I get up at 5 a.m. Texas time. Again, I'm in Central time. So I'm getting up much earlier than everybody else. So, like, I'm getting up much earlier than everybody else. And so I don't really eat anything. I'm not a big morning eater. I try to fast a lot, you know. What's up, Chef? BLK biggest values in all the houses they are buying up recently. I'm in the market to buy right now, and every time we're about to close a deal, BLK comes in and swipes it. Yeah. JP. I can't tell if it's a troll or not. JP says, have you seen a stone person flush their life down the drain and end up with lung cancer? Honestly, bro, What about cigarettes? Like, again, that's just such a silly argument, man. And it has nothing to do with that. Like, listen, people can throw their life away for in a lot of different reasons. You know, like people can smoke cigarettes, they can drink alcohol, like they can do all these legal things. It's not about the moral implications of it. It's about having an even standard of what's allowed and what's not allowed. And if you're gonna sell liquor at gas stations, like, you know, you can't reasonably critique cannabis if you're gonna if we're gonna allow liquor at gas stations, if we're gonna allow cigarettes. You know, it's just not comparable in those in that way. You know, but it's all good here. It's all good. Because we're looking at cannabis stocks, Jeffrey, and Tilray reports earnings this week is what we're doing. You know, we always have, like, that's something we've always discussed here, but it's mostly from Tilray. Tilray used to be $300 a share. All right, guys, Nvidia at 884. So we'll see if it holds. Nvidia is now over these big milestone levels. You can see the chart that we've drawn here. Let me see if I can find my pin. My little drawer here. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Crap. So, like, look. So, Nvidia over VWAP, over 200 EMA, over major milestone support level, over the previous closing price. So optimistically, Nvidia is over some pretty big milestone levels. I'm not sure if it's going to hold or not, but it doesn't look bad for Nvidia. And again, I think it's going to depend, but Nvidia is leading the market some. I think if you look at the SPY or you look at the Q, they're both slightly green, just like Nvidia is. Although Nvidia is leading it more, I would argue here. Again, I don't even do cannabis. Like, again, I was always like too paranoid to do it, to be honest. But I will help you out a little bit and help your spelling, sir. It's weak, W-E-A-K. How do you think Tesla will go following the robotaxi announcement? I don't know, bro. I think, again, I think Tesla's on the forefront of FSD, and I think if they successfully accomplish, robotaxis, then they're going to be primed to succeed. You know, I think if they can get that right and they can do FSD and have it fully implemented, have all the speed bumps out the way for it, I think they could really, change the world, you know. And I think they can really be on the front of like having a big business bump from that stuff too. I think that'll save their business to a certain extent if they can get it right, you know. Yeah, CBD is, you know. Welcome back to Monday. Yeah, it's time again, Monday. Yeah, so I did, again, I went to Collecticon in Houston yesterday. Honestly, my daughter's 14. She has what's called embarrassitis. I call it embarrassitis, meaning she gets embarrassed by literally walking down the street. She's so embarrassed by everything right now. I call it, my wife and I troll her. We call it embarrassitis. But dude, they had the guy that sings the Pokemon song in like a full-on concert at Collecticon. My wife was like, dude, get me out of here. It was fun though. My son was all about it, but yeah. Yields are up substantially. Our bond yields up. They are up a lot this morning. 4.37% are what the 10-year bonds are up. Yeah, dude. I think his name is Jason Page. Oh man, he's living life. I don't know what else to say about him. It was fun though. You know, it was fun. We might go back next year or whenever they do it again. I don't know. The 10 years are up. Like if we put up 10-year bonds right now, 10 years up. I don't know what that, you know, I don't know if they're gonna hold, but bond yields are up. Yeah, she's young, man. She's a teenager. She'll get over it. It'll just take time. Again, the Q keeps bouncing at this previous closing price level. Again, if you don't have the previous closing price on your chart, I think you're making a mistake. I think it's a big level you want to pay attention to because I think most people watch the previous close as a relevant milestone level. And so if you're not watching it, I think you're missing out on a big spot. Nvidia is still up there, though, not really going anywhere. Very sideways. How's the market today? Market's flat mostly. You know, we have some good stocks, some bad stocks. But the market's mostly sideways. You got some good stocks moving, some, you know, some stocks that are down. Tesla is gapping up a little bit. You can see bonds on the right. They're up a little bit today as well. Here's Tesla. So Tesla gapped up on mostly this news below me, which is their, you know, potential robo-taxi unveiling for Tesla, which I think is a great thing. Again, have any of y'all seen the Cybertruck in person? It looks really nice, man. It looks really nice. Again, my wife was always a Cybertruck hater, and now she loves it. Like, now she sees it in public, she's like super excited. And so I think the Cybertrucks are cool. They're genuinely cool. And so, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Cybertruck. Yeah, but I think the robotaxi is cool. I think robotaxi means driving itself, though. Like without, I think there's a difference between FSD and robotaxis. Specifically, that robotaxis means driverless vehicles, and yeah, I think robotaxis mean driverless vehicles. And FSD just means the car drives itself. And so I think there's a difference there, you know. Yeah, the Cybertruck's cool, I think. The problem is it doesn't make that much money. If we're looking at it objectively, it doesn't make Tesla as much money as they want it to. And so the margins for the Cybertruck are not great, in my opinion. At least according to what Elon said, I guess. The margins aren't great. It's going to take a couple years, which is what we're kind of seeing now. It's gonna weigh on margins for a few years on the overall stock, and I think that's why, you know, Tesla's been down for the last couple months at least. All right, guys, so we are gonna start day trading a little bit here. And again, we haven't done any sponsored plugs today, so I guess we're going to go ahead and do our first plug. If you haven't already, check out Apex Funded Account Program. What Apex does allows traders to learn day trading with limited risk, right? And if you're good enough to pass it, if you're actually a good day trader, you can earn funding. It's really useful because most day traders lose money. And again, I think most day traders are going to lose here too, just because most day traders lose. It doesn't matter where they go. They can go to Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. They can go to Schwab. They're probably going to lose just like they're probably going to lose this. But it's a lot cheaper to try this funded account program than to put up thousands of dollars yourself. Again, everybody always tries to put up thousands themselves learning to day trade. I'm here to tell you that's probably a bad idea. Almost all day traders lose money. If you put up $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, you're probably going to lose it. A better, more efficient way with your money is to limit your risk and try a funded account program. Again, I still think most traders are going to lose, but it's a lot cheaper to lose this. What they're going to do is they're going to give you a demo, and they're going to test your skill with a demo account first. The base one's the 25K challenge. They're going to give you a 25K demo. It's only 30 or 35 bucks if you use my link and my coupon code BT. Again, it's 30, 35 bucks. If you can make $1,500 in profit without losing $1,500 first and following their rules and conditions, they fund you 25K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 25K in profit before that anyway. And again, you can learn to day trade. And in the futures market, you can day trade the S&P. Like this is the QQQ price action. If you look at this and then you look at the Q, it's the same price action here. I can buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. But there's just no PDT restrictions, and I don't need to risk thousands of dollars to try this. And again, if I lose, I'm only out 30, 35 bucks. If I'm good enough to pass it, again, I get 25K in funding, 90% split, and they've paid out over $100 million to their traders. They're one of the most legit futures funded account programs in the world. And yeah, if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. And if you lose, it's not the end of the world. But again, if you pass it, you still get most of your profit anyway once you're funded. So again, it's the best of both worlds in that regard. Although they are a sponsor, I'm biased because they pay me money. But again, I just genuinely think they're useful. Remember, use promo code BT, beginner trading BT. Also remember, chat, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Again, if you want the max discount at all times, use promo code BT. Also understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical simulated performance may vary and have certain limitations. Also, I do trade off stream sometimes. You're not going to see all my trades. It's for entertainment purposes only. My experiences may not be conducted in real time or on stream. Do not copy me. And appreciate the love, guys. Yeah, to be honest, a lot of people talk about DJT. Seems like a pump and dump to me, in all honesty. Like, I've seen a lot of these before, chat. A lot of these before. It's not the first time I've seen a stock do this. And again, it has dropped 50% since the 26th of March, right? The reason I don't invest in companies from a political or moral sense is because they blind you to these type of things. Like, imagine if you're a trader that got in at the end of March at freaking $80 a share, right? You're down 50% on this trade because you wanted to support the political stock or whatever it is. I'm just not trying to do that. I avoid all like political companies for that reason. I'm not trying to get involved with companies that are purely based on politicians. No, you're not going to be able to avoid politics all the way through. And again, I'm not judging you if you're in this or if you're bullish on it. Like, do whatever you want to do. I'm just not buying it personally. I'm not really interested in it. Again, it's down 50% since March. So, not my cup of tea, if you will. Let's watch $40 to see if that holds. Market's really flat though today, chat. It really is. There's not a lot of good stuff going on, to be honest. Looks very boring. Look how sideways it is. So again, all morning we've mostly been choppy. Anything else market related to talk about, chat? That I haven't covered? Let me know. Again, we're gonna start day trading though, so on Apex. I just wish we had a little bit better of a trend. Let me check chart prime. All right, here's the NASDAQ. Be exit out of some of this stuff. Like my computer sounds like it's struggling. There we go. That's better. Exit out of this too. I don't know, comma. I don't know, man. Hopefully not, of course. People waiting for the next round of news. Wow, you talk as fast as you type? Hey, top 3 talkers in the world right now. I just think fast, bro. Listen, top 3 fastest thinkers in the world right now, man. You know. Clean Spark, CLSK. I don't know, man. I think I usually try to avoid stocks like this just because in order to safely grow an account, you need consistency and reliability, and I think big swings like this are just really make me really nervous. If I do invest in companies or trade companies like CLSK that make moves like this, it's usually very small size. I'm not trying to risk my whole account on a gamble. You know, I don't need the butterflies rushing in my I don't need the butterflies in my stomach. I don't need to feel the rush of risking money. I'd rather just keep it safe, and I think because of that, a lot of these companies I avoid them. Again, I think the biggest edge is blue chips long term anyway, despite short term gains in these companies. So I'd rather just avoid a lot of these that are making crazy moves. Although there's some that look okay, but I think this move is mostly done with already. So CLSK, I think most of the move already happened from $2 all the way up to 25s. And so we're back down to 15s, but we're still up big. It's just a lot of risk. I don't know enough about the company either as well. Clean Spark, just don't know enough about the company to justifiably invest in it. All right, so yeah, MicroStrategy had its price target raised to 1875 from 990. So Benchmark raises the target price from 1875 from 990 for MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy's been doing really, really well on this Bitcoin bull run, this Bitcoin bull market. You know, it's still at 1600s, and it's up a lot this morning, understandably so, because Bitcoin's up a lot, testing lifetime highs. So Bitcoin still got a couple thousand to go if it wants to break lifetime highs. But again, Bitcoin up to 72, 73K. That's interesting. This chart up. Top 3 for sure. After the halving in a couple weeks, CLSK might lose a lot of its value. Yeah, if they're mining, a lot of these mining companies are really risky ahead of the halving anyway, because I mean, I think a lot of the moves are already kind of preloaded into the stocks though, but you know, the halving is going to take away half of the mining revenue in Bitcoin miners. So I think it's an important thing to understand that these miners are going to lose income from the halving. You know, ultimately it's a bull move on a macro sense though, but short term there could be volatility there. So just be careful. 420. Ahmed is the halving date. Yeah, it is the eclipse day. The Happening is a terrible movie, bro. That movie left an impression on me. I watched it as a kid. It's freaking weird. I did not like that movie at all. Hey, thank you, Arif. I appreciate the $10, brother. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate the donation, brother. But no, I did not like the Halving movie or the Happening movie at all. Kind of freaky movie, man. Kind of like Bird Box. Same kind of concept, really. The Happening kind of inspired Bird Box, you can tell. But, Alright, remember, guys, we had the FOMC minutes report on Wednesday, CPI Wednesday, PPI Thursday, bank earnings Friday. So, alright, so we gotta just move up here. I might buy like a NASDAQ dip if we get one. So I might buy a NASDAQ dip if we get one. We're testing the top of the range. It needs to be a large dip though, but again, we're gonna wait for it. Alright, so we got a little pullback here. We're going to start to take one contract into this support level. Maybe we'll get 4, 3. Trying to scale up my size here. You know, build up a couple little cushions first and then take some larger risk trades. There we go. Alright, we took 2/3 of the position off. And now we've retraced back some, but we're green a little bit on the trade, the first trade of the day. We're not going to go red on it because we took enough profit off of it already. So we can hold the rest mostly break even, see if we bounce a little bit more or what we're going to do. Maybe add some more to this if we need to. Yeah, we're going to cut that. So we're slightly green on the first trade of the day. It turned a little bit on us at the end, but we took 2/3 of the position off already. So again, slightly green now. Alright, we got another pullback. We're going to buy into this dip now too. Take 4 contracts here. There we go. Give it a little bit more time. We're in 5. We'll take up to 6 here, and then we'll take 3 contract increments. Again, I'm trying to take a little bit more risk in this funded account program. I don't like Tesla falling though. Tesla's dipping down a little bit. I gotta look at some of the other tech stocks here, but there's Tesla. Let's look at Apple. There we go, popping back up. Alright, so we're slightly green here. I'd like to give it a little bit more time, and if we push up enough, we could take 2 contract increments off. Alright, we're up. Market's so flat today. I don't know why. It's so choppy. There we go. Alright. We turned already. We took 1 piece off of this. And then we came all the way back down already here. We got 4 contracts left. Very small. But, there we go. That's nice. All right, we're going to take another piece off. And then it retraces again. Very quick. I guess people are taking profit up there like me. This is what it looks like. This is taking too long. I'm gonna take another piece off, and maybe I took a little bit prematurely. All right, we're gonna cut that. So we're up about 40 bucks just now. Took a little bit $40 trade. We bought the dip. Nvidia's starting to rise up. Look at Nvidia starting to go up. It's at 886, and so Nvidia's up there, dragging the rest of the market up with us. We'll see if we start testing highs again. So we're now pulling back to that spot again. I don't know if I want to... Man, Ronel Blanco, bro, only just doing great, man. What a great starter for the Astros. I know they're getting beat up by the Rangers, but Blanco, man, he's doing great. He pitched a no-hitter on the first. Nvidia at 886s, so let's see if it continues to run. We're really flat. We got a couple green trades in the books, but Tom, is the data out? What data today? There's not really any data today. Nothing big, at least. Freaking Josh hater, dude. Don't ruin it, Josh. Oh my gosh, bro. Ugh. Alright, so we're testing the top of the range.
Sorry, I'm watching the Astros highlights. Bro, Josh Hader has got to be the worst closer in baseball right now. And we keep playing him. Nvidia up there, 887s. 887s. He's got to be the worst closer in baseball. Just finish the game, bro. I mean, he closed it out, but sheesh, man. What happened to Josh Hader? I want to buy the dip, but I also think we're right around the resistance here. The pullback's not big enough to buy it. But look at Nvidia, guys. Nvidia at 887s. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green minutes in a row for Nvidia. Starting to churn up a little bit, almost to the 990s. So again, I think, again, 900 is a pretty big milestone level for Nvidia. If it can hold up there, it's doing great. But here's a push. It could drag the market up. 887.50s, 888s. All right. What data, Fort Lauderdale? Yeah, your favorite stock is Nvidia. Hey. Nvidia's in a bubble. I don't know, man. I think, again, I've talked about Nvidia before, right? And again, I don't know. I don't know. I think when you look at the EPS graph influence from AI, you could argue some of these moves are justifiable. Not all of them, but some of the moves are arguably justifiable. Like, look, let me show you what I mean by this, okay? Get out of the way. Since AI became a thing, right? Look at the EPS bump. So AI has genuinely influenced their margins in a positive way. Now, is it enough to justify the crazy percentage moves that they've made? I don't know. But again, AI has positively influenced their margins. If we look at their revenue graph, same type of thing here. You know, so again, AI has really benefited them as a company in a massive, massive way. This was them pre-AI. This was them after AI. So, I mean, again, I think AI really is that game-changing technology. The question is, does it hold? I don't know. I think AI is that thing, but again, I think the only, like, we've heard a lot of market crash predictions lately. I think one of the only ones where I could see it actually being plausible is if Nvidia dips down to like $500 or $600 quickly, that could crash the markets. Like, for sure, that could crash the markets. Again, I'm not saying it's going to, but if Nvidia dips down to those levels, that could crash the markets. And every time I say this, you get emotional people from both sides. You get people saying, nah, bro, that's never going to happen. Nobody knows if it's going to happen or not. And then you get people saying, oh, yeah, that's going to happen. It has to happen. Nothing has to happen in markets either. Both sides, we don't know for sure. Nothing's definitive. I think it's plausible, though. Yeah, their Blackwell chip really is crazy, like, crazy useful. And I think we're going to see use We're going to see them supplying governments. We're going to see them supplying a lot of things with their Blackwell AI chips, or their Blackwell chips, not AI chips, but they're just chips in general. Yeah, I mean, I think that's silly. I think Apple is gonna be big regardless of Nvidia or anything else. I don't think that really matters that much. I think I think if you go up to most people in the US and you see what kind of mobile device they have, most of them have an Apple phone. And it's not really close either. So Apple's always going to be strong, in my opinion, at least for as long as people continue to use iPhones, which they're going to. I think Nvidia, technology is big, but I think the other question is, when does Apple put out AI? But I guess the point is, Apple and Nvidia aren't really super competitive with each other. Is another thing. Like, I don't think they're really competing against each other in that way. Apple doesn't even have an AI, Nvidia sold out for the next 20 years. It's not a bubble. Yeah, I mean, again, arguable. But yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. All right, so here's the breaks of highs here. Nvidia testing highs up there as well. I'm going to put just 2 charts up. I guess I'm going to buy this here. It's buying right at the highs of the days, but I'm going to take a small trade here with 2 contracts. And it's going to be a longer term trade, and we're going to try to let it work. We will add on pullbacks too. We'll take 3, 4. We'll take 5 contracts here. Leave it at that. Again, it's kind of a high of the day break buy, but it's a 5-minute strategy. We're looking at a 5-minute chart on other stuff, so it's a 5-minute strategy. Of course, Mandy. Everybody's gonna watch it, I think. Yeah, I think they will eventually do that, Arizona's. Yeah, I've been in oil with a very small share size, and I'm up over $100 at a very small share size on Exxon. Average price is 97s, so it's at 121s right now. We're going to take one more position here. 6 contracts. Yeah, CPI is one of the biggest market movers. One of the biggest market movers, KT. I don't know which way it's going to move the markets. It depends on if data comes in good or bad. But CPI is very watched, very relevant. Very big moves typically happen from CPI. Now, again, it depends on whether it comes in above or over or under expected numbers here. I mean, define back testing. I have tested it to a certain extent, but I certainly can't guarantee it's going to work. David, I think it's really useful, personally. And again, they're a sponsor of mine, so, and again, I genuinely think it's really useful, personally. But of course, they're a sponsor. I can't guarantee they're going to make money. Or that you're going to make money with them. Nobody can. I'm going to take half of this off and just lock that in. And then we're going to take another piece off. There we go. We'll sit on 3 contracts. Try to let it go a little bit longer. Protein powder. I'm not really. I used to be big on protein powder. Most of the time I try to drink. I try to consume natural protein now. Like I'll drink muscle milks, but like outside of that, I'll usually try to. Ooh, nice. Take another piece off. I usually try to eat natural protein. No, I've got multiple funded accounts, Nick. Multiple challenge accounts as well. All right, so we're gonna take another piece. I wanted this to be long term, but it went so, like, again, I'm using the market oracle on Chart Prime. Genuinely impressive here, man. Again, I can't guarantee you're gonna make money. Nobody can. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this just because it was so correct so fast here. We're up almost $100 now on the day. 5-to-1 win-loss ratio. But again, here's the Chart Prime indicator. Again, I can't guarantee. I got the 1 minute indicator up. That's what I bought this on, was the 1 minute one. And again, if you back test these yourself, like I always try to back test a little of them live. My favorite are the 5 minute ones, because if you back test the 5 minute ones, you'll see what I mean. Like, look at this. Again, I can't fake this. I can't guarantee these are going to work. Always back test it yourself. Trade your own way. You're responsible for your losses. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Nobody can. But look at this. Look at the strong signals. Boom. Big bounce. Strong signal. Boom. Big bounce. Sell signal drops. Sell signal. This one literally called the top on the sell signal. Look at this. Sell signal here. Beautiful breakdowns on a 5 minute chart. Buy signal worked. Strong sell signal worked. Buy signal worked. Strong sell signal worked. Buy signal worked. This one maybe you could argue didn't work. This one definitely worked. Sell signal definitely worked. I think, at least. I can't be for sure. But out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I only see about one of them that didn't work. This one didn't work as well. So that's 2. This one worked, and then this one worked. The one I actually took here was this strong signal on a 1 minute chart, though. And this strong signal on a 5 minute chart, which is why I wanted it to be a little bit longer term trade, but it just worked so quickly that I had to take profit so fast. But again, I challenge you to backtest these yourself. They offer so much: backtesters, oscillators, screeners. So they'll backtest the systems for you and tell you what's working and when it's not. But again, they are a sponsor. I'm biased. It's like $40 a month though if you use my link. So I mean, again, I think it's genuinely impressive personally. But again, if you want to check it out, here's the link. They're a sponsor. I'm biased. Hey, what's up, Connor? ISO pure. Yeah, my favorite breakouts are the 200 EMA breakouts. I usually love looking at those. Look at Nvidia dip though. So Nvidia's dipping down might pull us back here. So we're pulling back to this purple line. Let's see if this level holds. We're at 888s here at the top, but Nvidia is really what's influencing this market. It had a big rip and then a big dip. So I know Tesla was up today. I'm not sure if it's going to be holding its gains now. Tesla's still green, consolidating a little bit more. Good day though for Tesla. We're green on our equities positions too. Yeah. Getting your vitamins and minerals is best. Figured so. Yeah. We try. I've signed up to the Market Oracle and did some back testing with it at the weekend. Hey, nice, man. Snow at 155. So snow has been one that's interesting. I'm in it right now. I'm down. My average price is 170s. It's only one share though. I'm in literally one share of snow. I don't know what to do with it. With earnings coming up, when do snow earnings come up? Let me see. Yeah, that makes sense, Connor. That's an interesting way to look at it. All right. Let me check the earnings for snow. Again, Nvidia pulled it back to 886s. Market's still holding up though. Apple over that 200 EMA. All right, so Snow doesn't drop their earnings until May, late May. I think that's right around Nvidia too. So Nvidia drops theirs May 22nd. Nvidia earnings are now effectively our largest stream ever. Nvidia, we had 14,000 concurrent viewers live watching. We got almost 100,000 views for the last Nvidia earnings, which means that we're going to be focusing heavily on Nvidia earnings in terms of content and interest here, especially with Nvidia mostly moving sideways since Nvidia's mostly been flat since the beginning of March. So for the last like month and a half, Nvidia's flat. It hasn't really moved much. The real question is, does Nvidia break 1,000 anytime soon? Again, the other question is, what do their earnings show up as? With Nvidia, a lot of people are arguing there's a bubble for it. A lot of people are arguing there's a bubble, and maybe there is. Again, I'm not here to say there's not. I think the biggest risk of a market crash is if Nvidia turns big on everybody and drops down to like $500. I think that could crash markets if it happens quickly, because the whole market has followed Nvidia up, as well as other tech. Meta here. Meta's up to 520s, 530s as well. Microsoft is up to 420s. Google up to 150s. So the tech stocks have done really, really well the last year. And again, granted, when you look at their EPS, when you look at their revenue for a lot of these earnings, Nvidia has had that big boost in revenue. I don't know if it's a justifiable boost, but it's had a lot of good revenue coming in since AI became a thing. You can see the difference here in their revenue graph from pre-AI to post-AI. And here's pre-AI. Still strong company, still growing up to 2020. Once AI became a really big part of markets, you can see their revenue double, triple in some areas. So big boost to revenue. Now, the problem, though, is that, okay, look. If we look at it in terms of just general revenue, right? Like, we can look at this here. So their revenue was we'll just take 2021, 5. We'll just make it 5. So $5 billion pre-AI revenue, quarterly revenue, right? Now with AI, it got up to 22 billion. So their revenue is about 4x. Really, if we use 5, it's over 4x, right? So that's a 300% move in revenue. When we look at Nvidia and we track the price of it, all right, so Nvidia pre-run was at about 220s or 250s. So its price is up the same percentage roughly that its revenue is. And so if we're correlating the revenue increase to price increase for Nvidia, it kind of matches up. It kind of matches up. Now, this is with the expectation that Nvidia is going to continue to perform in this way, which is, again, a big if. Let's see what their so they haven't actually put anything out there for expectations. So far, the expected EPS is $5.13 a share. Now, I don't know if this is the new one or the old one. Okay, so this is the old one, basically. Maybe not. So they're expecting 22 billion. So they're expecting their revenue to hold up there. I think that's a bullish argument for Nvidia. Again, I'm not saying it's going to hold. I'm not saying it's not a bubble. I'm not saying it's not extended. Because, again, if we look at 2000 and the internet crash, right? The internet was a justifiably useful technology that we still use today, of course, and has grown profoundly over the last 25 years. But they still had a market crash in 2000. Even though it was the dot-com boom, and dot-coms are still, really useful and big and a huge part of tech. So, anyways, Nvidia back up there. NASDAQ breaking highs. Buy everything, we move until afternoon, then dump. Back-to-back crosses on the SMA system, generally more back and forth, choppy. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, unless you're gonna short the top, buy the bottom of the range, Talk to me, John. What's the play for today, bro? I don't know, man. You're asking the wrong dude. I really don't know, man. You guys know me. I don't really like to tell people this is gonna happen or that's gonna happen. I really don't know. Now, I might say I think this is gonna happen or I think that's gonna happen, but I really don't know for sure. Again, I would say we're looking strong this morning in pre-market. NASDAQ's breaking highs, Nvidia's up to almost 890s. But I also think the thing to understand about this week, chat, is that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we have big economic reports coming out, and a lot of the time ahead of these economic reports, we get choppy, sideways, neutral activity. So with that in mind, I think we could get choppiness all day today. It's certainly possible, just because, again, we do have CPI dropping Wednesday. It's one of the biggest inflation reports we get. Now, the Fed actually uses PCE inflation, core PCE specifically, to gauge inflation. But CPI and PPI are the most watched metrics for retail. Retail, you know, we'll have thousands of people here on Wednesday when CPI drops. We got the Fed minutes report Wednesday, PPI Thursday, bank earnings on Friday. So a lot of stuff is dropping at the second half of this week. And again, with that, traders might be a little bit more apprehensive because of that economic data coming out that could influence their positions, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We are looking strong today. We are looking strong. Most tech is gapping up. Nvidia is gapping up. Nasdaq's breaking highs. Apple's moving up a little bit. Still red on the day, though, for Apple. Tesla's gapping up some, so we don't really have any big news coming out today. It's mostly Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. MU are good for now. Yeah, MU is up a ton. What's MU up this morning from? This is probably dragging Nvidia up. Let me see. Micron intends to sequentially increase its DRAM module and SSD prices by more than 25% during the second quarter of the year, according to Digitime citing sources. So MU going to increase prices in its DRAM module as well as SSD. That is causing Micron to pop and other techs to follow it. Nvidia's moving up on this move. But yeah, this is what's dragging Nvidia up right now. This news dropped about 7:24 market time. If you look at 7:24 market time on the Nvidia chart, this is what's dragging tech up. It's a catalyst. So again, you can kind of see it really here. So like, look, here's the move. Here's 7:24 on Nvidia. Here's 7:24 on MU. So this is when the catalyst came out. And so yeah, this is all MU news. Again, Microchip Tech also expanded their partnership with TSMC. But yeah, this is MU news. Micron is going to increase its DRAM module and SSD prices by over 25% during the second quarter. And again, you can kind of see when the news came out here. You can see how it affected Nvidia on the upside. Interesting. That's what's dragging tech up right now. So again, MU coming out saying they're going to intentionally, or they're going to increase its DRAM module prices and its SSD. Yeah. So again, let's see what we get on the markets. Again, Nasdaq's up a lot. Tesla plays with my feelings. The long is bussin'. You guys should definitely meet up for a coffee or something. I see Dell being over 200 by the end of the year. Bro, I'm old enough to remember the dude you got a Dell catchphrase. I know I'm old. Dell's been moving though. Dell's had a crazy good year, to be honest, as well here. So Dell was at 39s to start the year. It's now at 130s. So up almost $100 a share for a $39 stock in a year for Dell, 52 weeks ago. It's a crazy return in gains here for the stock. Shout out to Chart Prime though, man. Again, Chart Prime nailed that. They got it exactly right. I got a Dell 2 days before earnings and popped 30%. Hey, nice solo. Good trade. All right, guys. We got UFC 300 coming out this weekend, bro. Who's watching it? Who you guys got? Do you have Alex Pereira or do you have Hill? Honestly, I think UFC 300 could have been better. To be honest, I genuinely think it could be better. You got Wiley versus Jan. That should be fun, but Justin Gaethje versus Holloway's the real main event. Everybody knows it. Charles Oliveira versus Arman Sakarian. That'll be fun. Bo Nickel fighting for the first time. Big, very famous wrestler. Like, not professional wrestling, like actual, like Greco-Roman wrestling. I think he does Greco, but I'm not 100% sure. Cody Brundage is who he's fighting. Honestly, the prelims are better than the main event, in my opinion. We got Hiri Prokaska, Alexander Ratchik, Calvin Kattar, Aljamain Sterling, Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison, Sodiq Yusuf, Diego Lopez. Again, I thought this card could have been better, to be honest. Specifically the main card could have been better. The early prelims got Jalen Turner, Renato Moicano, Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez, Bobby Green, Jim Miller, Davidson Figueroa, Cody Garbrandt. Honestly, the prelims and the early prelims are really stacked. The main card could have been better, but that's all good. I'm going to definitely buy it anyway. It's still a great card, I think. Gaethje or Holloway? I want Holloway to win, but I feel like Gaethje is going to win that. I think Gaethje's too good. Although, I think it could go either way. Holloway's got the speed. Holloway's definitely got the speed. Gaethje's got the power, though. So, it'll be a good fight. Yeah, but that Tyson versus Jake Paul fight is going to be nonsense, man. Again, I see people arguing and, like, people are just believing the hype, bro. Like, listen. They're using 16-ounce gloves. 16-ounce gloves. What 16-ounce gloves means is that it's going to highly favor the person with better cardio. It's very difficult to knock somebody out with 16-ounce gloves. And, again, Tyson is 60 years old. You know, Jake Paul's young in his 20s. It's going to be very difficult for anybody to knock him out with 16-ounce gloves. And so what's going to happen here if they fight is that Tyson's going to have a couple flurries in the beginning. Jake's going to withstand him. And then either Jake's going to knock Tyson out or just get the best of him for a few rounds, and then they're going to call it a draw at the end. That's all that's going to happen here. I'm kind of disappointed that so many people are believing that Tyson is somehow going to knock Jake Paul out. It's just not going to happen. They're using 16-ounce gloves. It's just not going to happen, unfortunately. I wish it did. It's not like I'm rooting for Jake Paul, but, like, come on now. You know. Amazon looking good. Yeah, Amazon has been gapping up today, for sure. Amazon at 185s. Looks strong. Almost up to 188s in pre-market, actually. Jake can't box, though. Why aren't you saying that? I mean, Jake can box. I mean, is he elite level? Of course not. But Jake's been boxing for 5+ years by the best trainers in the world. You know, he does have power. And so acting like he's just fresh, new boxer is not accurate. Again, I want Jake to lose. Right? But again, and I know it's Mike Tyson, but it's 60-year-old Mike Tyson, you know. Again, if anybody watched the Roy Jones Jr. fight, you know. And again, y'all really need to understand what confirmation bias is, which means that you're more likely to believe things that you want to happen. You want to see Jake Paul get knocked out. I get it. I want to see Jake Paul get knocked out. But it doesn't make it more probable that 60-year-old Mike Tyson with 16-ounce gloves is going to do it. 16-ounce gloves is the real thing. If it was light gloves, it would be different. But 16-ounce gloves makes it very difficult to knock anybody out. And again, what's going to happen is Tyson's going to get tired after a round, Jake is going to not get tired after a round, unfortunately, because of the age difference. It's just, again, you can call me dummy for a month if I'm wrong about this fight. I don't think I am. Have you watched Tyson's training sessions? I have. But again, the thing you got to understand about it is that anybody can do a good flurry that's like pre-recorded and everything like that. The problem is that if Tyson tries to do that in the actual ring, he's going to get tired and he's going to be done. He's not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to make it. Jake did fight, like, Tommy Fury is a legit boxer, right? He's Tyson Fury's brother. So Tommy Fury's a real boxer. Jake lasted 8 rounds, however many rounds it was with him, and he didn't do terribly. Jake did all right. He lost the fight for sure, but he did okay. And so, yeah, I don't know. Tyson never needed more than a round or two. Yeah, when he was freaking 25. He's 60 now, though, brother. And he's got, again, the kicker is 16-ounce gloves. 16-ounce gloves are hard to knock anybody out. Yeah, you can call me Dummy or whatever you want to call me if I'm wrong. Tyson shouldn't be fighting at all. I hope I'm wrong too, but I'm not. It'll be a draw, but Jake's going to get the better of Tyson. Probably is what's going to happen. Oh, dude, I'm going to eat my words if Tyson wins. I've been saying this for a few weeks too, man. I'll eat my words. It's all good. I'll make fun of myself if I'm wrong. Because honestly, I'll really be happy if I'm wrong. But I don't think I am, and I think people just want to see Tyson win. They're so desperate to see Tyson win that they're ignoring logic, and they're arguing for something that's super improbable. But hey, it's all love. All right, guys, it's 8 a.m. or it's 9 a.m. market time. We still got 30 minutes until the market opens. We'll see what we get today. It'll be fun. Again, markets are up mostly. You can see the NASDAQ actually testing highs. We're green on the day. We're up almost $100. We'll see if we can continue our green trades this morning. We've been mostly trading Nvidia hype and strength. Nvidia's been testing highs. It's now up to 888s. Yeah, Bra says, remember how amazing the last Tyson fight was. You got to be trolling. The last time he fought was Roy Jones Jr. like a couple years ago, and it was horrible. It was horrible. If you look at the Twitter posts from that fight, everybody was shaming the people for even putting on that fight in general. Roy Jones Jr. looked bad. Tyson looked bad, right? So to tell me that Tyson that fought Roy Jones Jr. a couple years ago that looked horrible in the fight is going to somehow beat a 25-year-old boxer, of course not. Of course not. And again, it's silly to expect it. People just want him to win. Again, it should be on YouTube. Go watch the Roy Jones Jr. Tyson fight from 3 years ago. This was 3 years ago. He's 3 years younger in this fight. And come back and tell me you think he's going to beat Jake Paul. Yeah, he's a senior citizen now, man. Yeah. If Tyson wins, I'll take 2 mustard spoons. Okay, 2. Yeah, Jake Paul would never fight a UFC fighter. He'd get beat up too much. Ric Flair. You gotta watch your ears. Yeah. All right, guys. Amazon at 185 still. Amazon very strong. That's actually at 188. I wish Tyson wins. I want to see him win. My oh my butterfly.
Why do you have this in here?
I don't know.
You learning about your butterflies?
Yeah. What else is there to learn about? You know. Love you.
Love you.
Have a good day. No games today, right?
No.
Okay, good. All right.
Tomorrow.
Bitcoin all-time highs. Yeah, Bitcoin's close. It's up there. Bitcoin up to 73,000 roughly. It's still down a little bit. It's pulled back. It was higher up earlier, but still close to lifetime highs. No, I hate mustard. My parents used to punish me with mustard. So, like, some parents made their kid buy a bar soap, like Christmas Story. My parents knew I hated mustard, and I would have to stick out my tongue, and they would drop mustard on my tongue if I did something, if I said something I shouldn't have said. And I hate mustard now because of it. Mustard is like one of my most hated things. And so, there's a while back we were charging people, capitalism thriving on the beginner trading channel. We were charging people for push-ups. You know, we did 600 push-ups in one day. We charged $1 a push-up. We got a ton of donations. We also had a time where we would take mustard spoons for every $70 in donations we get. Not doing that now, though. I'm definitely not doing that now. But if Tyson wins, especially by KO, I will take 5 mustard spoons. Okay, that's how much of a believer I am in Tyson losing this fight. Or not losing, just it's probably going to be a draw. But I think Jake's going to get the best of him. Yeah, funny but not funny. Yeah. This was back in the 90s, though. This is parents were different. ETH. Yeah, you get to call me Jimothy, dummy, whatever you want to call me for a month. You can call me, and I can't get mad. It's not that I have faith in Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul is a B-level boxer who can't really beat anybody at the top. But Mike Tyson's a freaking senior citizen, man. He's old. Like, again, watch the Roy Jones Jr. versus Tyson fight. Seriously, go back and watch that fight. Okay? If you genuinely think Jake Paul is going to lose to Tyson in that fight, that was 3 years ago. He was 3 years younger. If you think Jake Paul is going to lose to that, again, you're just delusional about it. You're letting your desire for Tyson to win overpower logic. I want Tyson to win. I hope I'm wrong. I don't care if y'all call me Jimothy for a month. I really don't. I would rather see Tyson win and y'all call me Jimothy for a month. It's just so improbable that, like, yeah. I don't think Jake Paul's good. I think Jake Paul's a B-level boxer, not that good. I think the only time he fought a real boxer was Tommy Fury, and he lost. I don't think Jake's good at all. I think he's mostly made his living on knocking out wrestlers and old, retired, chinny MMA fighters. I think he's handpicked really beatable opponents, and I think that's precisely what he did with Tyson. And I think people just have like a soft spot for Tyson, so they, Anyways, Nvidia's up there, guys, so we got to pull back on the NASDAQ. Part of me wants to buy this dip. Look at MU break highs, though. So the question is, does MU pull up Nvidia here? And I don't know if it does or not. Hottest mustard Kirill should buy. Okay. Yeah, it's dangerous for him to do this. Please ask Kirill to buy the jar of the hottest mustard she can find so we can have everything prepped. Will do. Okay, will do. Again, y'all are going to realize you're wrong. I'm telling you. Listen, y'all are going to have to realize you're wrong here, chat. I'm just telling you. All right, chat. So we are here. Let's see what else we got. Tesla had some news here. Let's see. All right, chat, let's do this. We got a little pullback here. NMU breaking highs. Nvidia down there at 887s. We got about 11 minutes or 21 minutes until the market opens. Tyson has a perfect plan and Paul has a lousy one, maybe. Yeah. Could be a dull day, though. The whole market's flat right now, except for some tech. Actually, the whole market's not flat. I'm sorry. Here's the Q. We're actually above the range here, and we're pulling back to a pretty big support level. So I don't know. Like, there's a support level there. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, we do have the eclipse today. And again, we are going to be day trading on Apex funded account program. We're already up about $100 on our 50K funded account. Apex, what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. If you can't pass the test, you're probably going to lose more than putting the money up yourself, or lose less than you would putting the money up yourself. Again, there's no PDT in futures. You can day trade short in the futures market. And again, the patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks, right? So most day traders lose. And again, I think that's probably the same here. I think most day traders are going to lose here just like they're going to lose on Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade or Schwab or anywhere you try to day trade, really. It's just a lot cheaper to learn how to day trade using these than to putting up thousands yourself and risking that. Again, every trader thinks they're going to be some prodigy outlier who's going to make thousands of dollars in the market. Most day traders lose. especially in the beginning. And so limit your risk in the beginning. Try a funded account program first. In the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, basically the SPY and Q price action. No PDT restrictions. You can buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule. You can do so actively, and you can limit your risk. The base one, this 25K one, you got to make $1,500 in profit on a demo without losing $1,500 in first. You can use up to 4 E-mini contracts, which is plenty. That's a lot of size. Or 40 micros, which is what you see me using a lot. Again, if you pass this test, you get 25K in funding. It's only 30 or 35 bucks. So if you pass it, you get 25K in funding. You get to keep your first 25K in profit and then 90% afterwards. So you're keeping almost all your profit anyway once you're funded, in the beginning at least. But if you lose, you're only out 30, 35 bucks, and they have packages like this all the way up to 300 in funding. A great way to learn how to day trade. Although again, they are a sponsor. I'm biased because they pay me money. I'm always pretty honest about it. Again, I think most day traders are going to lose regardless of where they go. And so I think this is just a lot less risk than putting the money up yourself. If you want to check them out, use promo code BT, Beginner Trading BT. Get max discount at all times with my promo code. And yeah, I appreciate it. We'll see if we can make some money today. We're already up a little bit, so we'll see if we can continue that. Well, they're not going to allow you to lose that, Mikey. There's going to be max losses on it. So, like, they're going to... Yeah, they're not going to allow you to lose the whole 25. All right, so we ripped over these highs. Again, I think it's mostly from MU, and now we're just kind of chopping sideways here. We're not really doing anything. We're mostly just chopping sideways. All right, so we are bouncing up a little bit here. Nvidia's testing highs. Yeah, man, Carol's supposed to tell me. She's supposed to send both kids in here, but I just got Maddie in here. She's supposed to send Jack in here too, especially on Eclipse Day. I want them both to come tell me bye. Nvidia up to almost 889s here. So Nvidia is breaking highs again. Let's see if it drags the market up. I think it's mostly following MU. MU had some pretty good news today, and so I think it's mostly following MU. All right, so look how choppy the Nasdaq is though right now. So again, I guess the market could be, again, it might be a flat day, but it also could just be waiting for the opening bell. I think, remember guys, it is CPI, PPI week, inflation data week, and so we should have, choppiness today, or we could have choppiness. See our poll numbers here. Does this week's inflation data come in higher or lower? 59% think higher than expected. Interesting. Nvidia up to 890s basically right now. Look at Nvidia, Chad. Just tapped 890s. Crept all the way up there. The question is, do we break 900 today? I think the Nasdaq's not really following it up, which means there's some blue chip stocks that are underperforming today, and I think that's mostly Apple. Apple's down to 169s, so Apple looking weak. Microsoft's flat. Meta's green. Google's green. AMD's red though. MU's green though. So again, Nvidia up there. Let's see if it continues. Well, for sure is never like it's. Nobody knows for sure. Somebody said, bro, for sure higher. Talking about inflation data. Again, nobody knows really. Again, what I would urge you guys to like understand is that regardless, it's kind of like the Jake Paul Tyson thing. No matter what you want to happen here, whether you want inflation to come in high, whether you want inflation data to come in low, nobody knows. It's never for sure. And it's all speculative. Unless you got insider information in the government, nobody knows. And so the more somebody says it for sure has to come in one way or the other, the less I trust what they say, in all honesty. Because again, I understand like the more definitive somebody is in their predictions, the less they probably know. And I'm not necessarily talking about you, Shreep. I agree, but nothing is going down. Gas prices is not lower, bro. I mean, yeah, but again, it's way more nuanced than just gas prices, brother. Same thing with food, right? It's just much more nuanced than that. Nvidia at 889s. What we buying in the market today, what we're selling, I have no idea. We're going to wait until the opening bell to trade. We're green today a little bit. Yeah, it's all good, bro. No, you can disagree, Shreep. It's all good, brother. Again, so today we do have Goolsby on a radio interview at 1 p.m. Neil Kashkari speaking at 7 p.m. this evening in Minneapolis. Or Minneapolis Fed President Kashkari. NFIB Optimism Index dropping early tomorrow. And then Wednesday again, CPI. Governor Bowman speaking. Wholesale inventories. Austin Goolsby speaking. Fed minutes report at 2 p.m. Jobless claims the next day, April 11th. PPI, April 11th. Bowman speaking April 11th. Goolsby speaking again. Raphael Bostic speaking again. So Susan Collins speaking. So a lot of Fed speakers on Thursday. Friday we got bank earnings is really the big one. Yeah, inflation data is Wednesday. So Wednesday CPI comes out. Big report, to be honest. No, we don't really have anything dropping today in terms of inflation or anything like that. Nothing major. So today we have we got CB employment trends. Oh, we do have consumer inflation expectations at 11, but it's not a big report. Alright, so Nvidia tapped 890 and then rejected. It's now sitting just under that. Nasdaq's been mostly flat heading into the opening too. So one of the interesting things is that we at least have this range. All right, chat. So consumer inflation is not really going to move the markets. Not the I mean, I don't know. The inflation expectations could move it a little bit, but it's not the actual inflation report on Wednesday. So it's not the actual inflation report. It just it depends on. Yeah, it's not going to move it like CPI will on Wednesday, I guess. All right, chat, we got 4 minutes. Guess we're dipping down some now too. What kind of chair do you use? I don't know. I got some office chair with back support. Yeah, we got a little dip here. So look, we're breaking down to that level and we're kind of bouncing at this spot too. Sorry, kind of making plans with Carol. The inflation numbers are high. So inflation expected to show up, chat. Inflation expected to show up Wednesday at, let me see. I haven't even looked at what's expected. I believe it's expected. Yeah, so it's expected to increase month to month. or no, actually it's expected to decrease month to month to 0.3% from 0.4% last time. So we showed up at 0.4% last time. They're expecting it at 0.3% this time. Year over year is actually expected to go up a little bit relative to last year. Same period, 0.2% increase to 3.4%, but month to month is actually expected to decrease from 0.4 to 0.3%. Core CPI expected to decrease on both fronts at 3.8% to 3.7%. So core excludes food and energy prices, so gas. And then on month-to-month core from 0.4 to 0.3. So month-to-month it's expected to decrease on both fronts. Year-to-year it's expected to decrease in core and increase in regular. But mostly expected to go down month-to-month. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the opening bell. Let's see if we get anything good, chat. Here we go. Breakdown happening ahead of the opening bell. Nvidia dipping down, MU pulling back down some too. AMD just cracked lows. United Airlines ripping up. Nvidia testing that 200 EMA though. Let's see if we bounce. All right, so we are flushing down a little bit, although Nvidia did bounce. But again, AMD just cracked lows. It's dragging tech down substantially right now. Again, specifically, again, it's Nvidia or AMD cracking lows. I'm going to let things play out first before I start to really trade here. So we're going to try to let things play out first. Today might be a selling day. Yeah, it could be. I mean, again, it depends, in all honesty. AMD just bounced all the way back up, starting to try to go green. I'm going to buy this just because of this AMD event. And, 2 contracts here. Nice little average. We'll see if it holds. Very neutral activity, although Nvidia did start to pop. There we go. All right, we just took half off there. Locked that in. All right, made a little bit more. There we go. You love to see it. We're up about $100 on the day. Apple coming down. Yeah, I'm going to short now. I see a couple things happening right now. A little risky to short here, but it's okay. We've got a cushion on the day here. All right, we took half off. 2 contracts left. Give the rest a little bit more work. Took another half off. All right, so we're up well over $100 now. That's nice. Starting to flush down a little bit, so we caught the downward action too. So we're kind of riding the momentum of the opening bell. Again, we are trading on Apex's funded accounts right now. You can see it's very similar to day trading stocks. We're watching Nvidia very closely, and if you look at Nvidia here and you look at the Nasdaq 100, it looks very, very similar. Look, big red, like so you can see how much the markets that I'm trading in day trading and futures on these funded account programs look like Nvidia here. Look at these; they look almost identical. But again, I can day trade this left side on Apex, no PDT rule. They give you a demo test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. Again, you can get packages from 25K in funding all the way up to 300K. You got to pass the challenge first, but if you do, there's a 90% split. And again, most pro day traders trade futures, and if you want to learn to day trade, this is probably the cheapest option to learn and have the least amount of risk. If you lose it, the base one's only $30-35, much cheaper than risking thousands. Again, use promo code BT. They are a sponsor of mine. Again, this is like our 4th plug on the day, so we're averaging a little bit more than a plug an hour. But there's the, if you want to check it out, there's the link. Market did crack lows. MU is flushing down, so you can see how much that's moving markets. All right, so MU testing lows again. Nvidia testing. Nvidia's still green on the day, but it's turning. A lot of tech is turning down. Tesla actually looking good though. So we're actually green on the day from Tesla mostly, as well as Tesla. We got Nike is actually up a little bit finally. Tesla bouncing up. We might add a little bit to our Nike trade. All right, so markets are cracking lows. Look at Nvidia right here at the previous closing price, just broke under it. Yeah, there's also dog with hat, which is a meme token in crypto. It's been going crazy too. Alright, I kind of want to short this to bet on the continuation since we had so much weakness here. And Nvidia is also testing that previous closing price. Alright, so we're going to short now that Nvidia rejected the previous closing price. So we'll add to this. Alright, we took a little bit off already. And now we're rebounding back up. I don't want to get stuck in this too big, so we'll cut this one light if it doesn't reject fast, which I guess it kind of is. There we go. Nvidia's flushing down here. That's nice. There's 3 contracts here on the short. And then we're popping up too much. Question is, do I want to risk more? I think I do. I think I'm okay to take a risk here just because we already have $100+ in profit on the day. And so I could take this risk. We're going to cut half of it there to protect us. And then we've still got a little bit left here that we're cutting. And we're out. All right. So we are up about 130 on the day. Alright, so we did crack lows. I could have held that short a little bit longer, I guess. Big flush down in everything. Nvidia, MU. Somehow I'm green on the day. Apple's down. Big red open, chat. I'm gonna start to buy this. We've broken down enough, so we're gonna try to catch a falling knife here a little bit with small size. All right, we took half off there, so we did a little bit. We got a pretty good win-loss ratio today. We haven't lost a lot at all. .75 to 1 win-loss ratio. We're gonna cut that. Caught the falling knife again. Here's my P&L today. So we've been really smart with our trades. 5 to 1 win-loss ratio. We are up to about $150 gross profit. Our drawdown is $9, so pretty good. We haven't lost much today at all. We're gonna avoid taking any positions here though, just because there's too much of a chance of a continued drawdown. We got a decent bounce back. We have to watch Nvidia here, though. Alright, so we will short this now and start to scale into a position. 2 contracts, keep it small and light at first. Apple bounced to the VWAP and then rejected it completely. Where's Tesla at? Is Tesla still moving up? I think Tesla's still doing okay. Yeah, Tesla actually still green on the day, up to almost 170s. Here's a new candle. Down about 20 bucks now on this one. I want to let it, it's not really going anywhere, at least it hasn't yet. But if we push up too much, we're going to have to cut this. Yeah, we're going to have to get out of that. So that was our first major loss. We're still up over 100. We're up about 120. Is Kashkari speaking today? Yes. He's speaking at 7. He's speaking tonight, though. It's at 7 o'clock tonight. So. E-mini testing highs up there, though. Although we do have a rejection here looking candle. Apple bouncing back, though. That might drag the rest of the markets up. Apple's still one of the most heavily weighted stocks, so it is starting to rebound back up. Nvidia still trying to bounce. Yeah, Nvidia's starting to turn back too. Tesla's still kind of helping the market. Apple rejected back down. Money coming in. Good start for the week. Okay, Tesla just ripped up and broke highs up to 173s right now, chat. Oh, or not 173s. Over 172s, though. So, again, Tesla just ripped over, broke highs. Let me put this up on screen. Here's Tesla. Got up there. The pre-market high is still at 173s, though. So, it's still got a ways to go to hit the pre-market high. All right, we're trading the regular E-mini here. 5 contracts, up about 27 bucks. We're gonna take a little bit more off there, lock it in. We had a really nice trade here with the regular. With the regular, not the regular, with the micro E-mini. I'm gonna get out the rest, break even here. So we had a really nice trade. You can see our P&L skyrocket after this. You know, you can see we're up about 230 in gross today. I wanted to get out because I saw strength showing up, so I didn't want to get stuck in that bullish run. Tesla almost to 173s here. So I don't know. Like I know Tesla's not in the top 5 most heavily weighted stocks, but it's trying to move a little bit. I don't know if it's going to drag the market up. We already had a pretty good day here, chat, in markets, and so I'll probably cut it down here, I think. We already had a really good day trading. Again, here's our P&L. Day trading on Apex. Here's our P&L. We're up about 240. Really nice day for my funded account. I think we're gonna take the W. And so again, if you want to trade with me on Apex, Apex is one of the most legit prop firms in the world, or futures prop firms. They give you a demo, test your skill. The really nice thing about Apex is that the micro contracts are allowed, right? So I got in, scaled in with micros all of today. I didn't use one regular contract. On the base one, you can use up to 40. On the 50K one, I can use up to 100, up to 10 regular E-mini contracts. And again, they give you a demo, they test your skill. If you want to get 50K in funding, you got to make 3K in profit on the demo. If you want to get 25K in funding, you got to make $1,500 in profit without losing these thresholds right here. But again, a reasonable ratio for both of them. If you pass it, you get between 25K. You know, they have packages all the way up to 300K. They have static drawdown. So if you don't want the drawdown to follow you up, they have static ones. You know, for the time being, it's 80% off if you use my coupon code BT, 80% off. So you get a massive discount right now for this month. They're doing a big holiday sale. And yeah, great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. It's really useful because most day traders lose. I lost thousands. Great way to learn how to day trade with limited risk. And so again, they're a sponsor. I'm biased, of course. I always tell you guys the same thing. I'm biased, but genuinely impressive in my opinion. And if you want to check them out, there's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Again, just use coupon code BT. Chart Prime helped me out a lot today as well. And so if you want to check them out, again, check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime, a great way to learn how to day trade as well and watch some patterns show up. And again, the patterns on Chart Prime have been legit. You can check them out in the description as well. Look at the strong signal show up on Chart Prime on a 5-minute one. Look at that. Strong signal. Boom. Big drop. Look at this one. Sell signal at the very top. Big bounce on a 1-minute chart. So impressive. Again, check them out. I love you all. Y'all be safe. I'm going to get out of here. And yeah, y'all be good in the market, guys. I'll see you guys a little bit later.